Okay, y'all, so highlights of Chicken Check-In on January 11th, 2025. This is what we consider our older group of egg production hens. So getting eggs here, gathered up here. Got 3 in my pocket, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gave them mealworms first and then going to give them their feed. Want to let them start with this high protein. Mealworms are about 50% crude protein. Okay, so same pen, gave them a little time on the mealworms. Just put in their feed ration, just filled that bucket there, and we split that between the 2 feeders for them. The 2 feeders is just to accommodate enough access space that if all the hens want to eat at the same time, they have room, they don't have to fight each other. I want to show you in the corner there, even though we have the nest boxes, several of the hens like to lay eggs down there. Hens like to lay eggs in a darkened, secluded area where they sense safety, where they sense they aren't threatened by anything at all. So typically they like kind of a dark, cozy hidey hole, you know. So we see eggs down there pretty frequently, and that's a white leghorn that's actually sitting in the corner. We know that she'll lay a white egg. She doesn't lay a white egg because she's white. That's not the way it works with eggs, as y'all know. Like you don't get black shelled eggs from black chickens and brown shelled eggs from brown chickens and white shelled eggs from white chickens. You know, it doesn't work that way. You know, you can get white eggs, brown eggs, blue tinted eggs, green tinted eggs, and there's variations of all those colors. But it just does so happen that white leghorns, like the one back in the corner, do lay white eggs. But what's interesting is, like, for example, so if we have a hen like this Isa brown here, or like this black hen right here, though, and that black hen at the feeder has red comb and red wattles, they lay brown eggs. But if you take a brown egg and you crack it open and you peek inside of it, the inside of the shell is white. The brown is a pigment that the hen puts on the outside of the shell, so that's pretty cool. So we do need to check water. So we were using a bucket this size, just open at the top, positioned under the heat lamp there, and refilling it frequently. We've gotten colder temperatures, and really capacity-wise, we need this amount of hens, about 30 hens, to have a 5-gallon bucket of water, 5-gallon water dispenser. So we went back to the 5-gallon waters, but we couldn't use them just the way they were because it's so cold. The water was freezing up, and then it was just frozen water, and plus frozen water can't gravity fill the tray. So what we did was my husband bought a couple of de-icers that is safe to use in the water, safe to use in plastic, just water dispensers. And you have to have electricity for those. You shouldn't use an extension cord. It should plug directly into your outlet. That is a 250 watt setup on that de-icer. But my husband went ahead and got 2 of those, one for each of these egg production hen houses. So we went back to the 5-gallon water with the de-icer in it. That's working great. That's working great. And so that's what we were checking. Do they still have water, and is the water staying free flowing? You never, ever, ever want your egg laying hens to run out of water, ever. They need fresh water all the time. Now I know frigid winter conditions, you know, you might have freezing water. It might reach a point where you're having to just water them frequently, but basic needs, ideally, you never ever want laying hens to run out of water because that will affect their egg laying productivity for sure. So we still need to check the other hen house real quick. Okay, so they're heavy eaters, and we know they had completed their ration yesterday late afternoon. We gave them a little more in the evening. So I'm going to go ahead and load up a bucket to take with me because I know they're going to need it. So to actually give them their feed ration, which is like a 16% crude protein, and mix some mealworms right into it, and that will give them extra protein. So I was going to give y'all a little extra information on that bag of mealworms. It retails for about $40 approximately at most retailers. It was a 5-pound bag, and the recommendation is like, I think 1 to 2 mealworms per day per bird. I think is 1 to 2, 1 to 10 mealworms per day per bird, but we just use that scoop and just give each of our hen houses like 2 scoops when we treat it to them. But that bag retails for about 40. We paid about 30 because we try to find them on sale. We can stretch that out when we're using it. We don't use it every day, but we fed that out over like a 2-week period as a snack for them. And it's not something we necessarily do all the time, but we felt, in our opinion, in the extreme weather, extreme cold, that the protein boost we can get from it for the hens is worthwhile. So that's when we would opt to use the extra protein and the treats that cost a little more. Okay, so here we snow again. Here we snow again. Oh, everything takes longer and it's just slightly more challenging when you got to do farm chores in the snow. All right, going into the production red house. Morning, everybody. So mostly production reds in here. A couple of white leghorns. They're like, we're on the feed. And some Isa browns. I'm going to pause. Oh, there's an Americana, the gray one. I'm going to have to pause actually to pour the feed in. So just a moment. So same in here as the other pen. These hens are a little younger than the other pen. We want to assess water, make sure that they have plenty of fresh, clean water that is appropriate temperature for them to drink. Check feed. In this case, we added feed. We're going to check eggs, nest boxes. Okay, so things are looking good. So I'm going to pick this egg up. Let's see. So it's got a little stuff on it. I'm just going to try to get that off here in the hen house. Struggling a little bit. Okay, got it. Now let's go over. I know there's some eggs over there in the boxes, but take a look at the water. So same deal over here. Oh yeah, that's great. I want to see. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, that's good. That's great. So it's just a relief to be able to keep water to them. Really helps a lot. Let's grab these eggs. So we did another video. Haven't uploaded it yet as I'm recording this, but probably we'll get it uploaded here. And talked about the breeds in here. The production red, the white leghorn, and the Isa brown. So we'll load that up as like a chicken breed chat. And y'all can check that out and let us know what breeds of chickens y'all are familiar with or curious about or like to raise. And this spring, I'm excited. I love Orpingtons. Orpington breed is an English breed. And we've had Orpingtons. My favorite is the lavender Orpington, but they're a big, heavy-bodied bird. They cold hardy, real docile and friendly. We don't have any in here, but I really like Orpingtons. And they come in a variety of colors. Buff, which is tan, and lavender, which is gray, and black, and now chocolate. And one time, we had a Jubilee Orpington that was multicolored. And that was by accident. And I want to get another one again, but they're really expensive. So anyway, so maybe someday. But this spring, going to have some lavender Orpingtons and some chocolate Orpingtons and some barred rocks. So those will be fun breeds to see. So those two gals are at the office, maybe making money for us. No, so you don't make a lot of money selling eggs, but we do run the egg birds here as kind of a little commercial operation, and they do pay their expenses and pay us a little profit margin. So for us, it's been well worth having the egg chickens, but y'all, it's a lot of management. And, anytime you're raising live animals, I mean, that's a 24/7, 365 day a year responsibility. We've been able to, at times, go out of town because we have direct connection to a great helper who is willing to tend to our chickens if we are away from home. But in general, know that if you don't have livestock or pets and you're thinking about, oh, she's got an egg under there, she just sat on. If you don't have livestock or pets and you're thinking about getting into that, it really impacts the level of freedom that you have to leave home, be away from home, and travel. So definitely take that into consideration. But thanks y'all for supporting the channel. We appreciate you. Have a great day.